Hi everybody, it's Jennifer from Sunday Stitches. Hello, and welcome to our first creative session for a handful of stitches. I'm so glad you're here and that you want to do this project. So if this is the first time you're hearing about it, what we're doing is a series of creative exercises using just a handful of stitches to learn how to make patterns and textures. This is a great way to start embroidering if you've never tried this before, or if you do other art forms and you're kind of in a rut, or maybe this last year has been a little trying and you're having a hard time getting back into the creative process. Trying something different, such as this, might help you kind of get back in the swing of things. The supplies are minimal, and I will post those online if you missed it last time. Basically, thread, some fabric, and a hoop. That's it. So our first stitch that we're going to do is so simple, and you'll probably be surprised that it even has a name. It's called the straight stitch or running stitch. And all it is, I don't even have to illustrate this for you, but all it is you come up through the fabric with your needle and thread and back down again. That's it. It is very simple. It's a very humble stitch when you think of it, but with that humble stitch, we could literally create countless images, whether they're very abstract or not. So I have seen people that sew things that kind of look like you're looking down from an airplane and you see the roads and the rivers and the bridges, and they're stitching all that with just that straight stitch. Then on the other side, there's people that I've seen who have done portraits of people, of animals, of buildings, and they're still using just that one simple stitch. So if you feel comfortable doing this one stitch, you can basically create forever and have fun with it. So what I've done is I made a few stitches, and then I said, what else could I do with it? And I made a few more stitches, and those images are below, and they're also on my website if that's easier for you to follow along with. This coming week now, we're going to get used to making stitches, especially if you're new to embroidery, and then say, okay, I've made a few stitches. What else can I do with them? If I alter it this way, if I make some longer, make some shorter, if I space them out differently, if I have them running in different directions, what kind of textures and patterns can I create using this one simple stitch? That's all we're going to do. There is a few movements that you might have seen if you've been online researching embroidery, and they really tap into being thoughtful and reflective and very peaceful. And this is the type of stitch that they would use, where you're not setting out necessarily to create a masterpiece. Like I have sewed the vista of Paris, France, but it's just to sit and stitch and make stitches over and over again. I liken it a lot to when you're out in the garden and you're weeding, and you just start weeding and you don't really think about what you're doing. You just kind of go on autopilot. When you're done, you've accomplished something, which is fabulous. But during that time, your mind is kind of free and relaxed. That's what this kind of stitching can do. So if you never do anything beyond this, you might find that just sitting down with some fabric and repeating this stitch over and over again and alternating it as you go, but not with a plan set forth, just seeing where it takes you, might actually help you if you're feeling anxious and a little depressed. It's a very meditative process. On the flip side, if you enjoy doing it and you're the type of person that says, I want to sew something very specific, a portrait of a person or a building, you can still use this stitch. So again, this humble stitch can take us very far in the embroidery world. So I hope you have fun with it. Please feel free to send me any questions that you have. You can post them here, you could post them on Instagram, or on the website if you like, and I think there's a link even to my email. Whatever you're comfortable with, just reach out at any time, and I can't wait to see what you come up with. And welcome again to our first creative session of Handful of Stitches. Talk to you soon.